Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Chioma Stitches and my name is Chioma. Today we are going to be making a beautiful top. We're going to be making a beautiful off shoulder top, or some people will call it a cold shoulder top. And so the measurement you need for this is the length of the top you need, your shoulder to your under bust measurement, your off shoulder measurement, also your sleeve measurement, and also the measurement of your wrist. That's where the band will be. It's going to be a crop top, so the length you need is your shoulder to your waistline. Okay, so I have the shoulder to the waistline for me is 19 inches. I have the shoulder to the under bust measurement. Then you can measure your waistline. Okay, I have a fabric here that is 2 yards, so we're going to be drafting directly on the fabric. This fabric is really very beautiful. You need your ruler, you need your tape rule, you need your scissors, and of course your chalk. Okay, all right, so the full length, like I mentioned, is going to be 19 inches, but the shoulder to under bust measurement is 14 inches, and that's what I'm going to be working with. And whatever is left is what we're going to be adding as the band. I want to mark out the part of the fabric I won't be needing, so I'm just going to mark out this place that I won't be using. And then from here we measure the shoulder to the bust, shoulder to the under bust, which is 14 inches. And if you notice, I am adding half of an inch to the 14 inches. That will be for joining. Okay, joining the under bust to the band. Now you can also go ahead and input your shoulder measurement. For me it's 7.5 inches. You might not have to take out your 1 inch shoulder slanting because you won't be needing it, but I'm just going to go ahead and mark it out. And then I'm going to mark out my armhole, which is 7.3 or 7.2 inches. To get your armhole, you divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. So I'm extending the shoulder measurement all the way here. Now from here, I'm going to be dividing this into 2. That's the armhole, and the half of it is what I'm going to be using for my off shoulder, or what you call your cold shoulder. The bust area of this top is going to be free because it's going to be having some pleats. So for that, I'm going to be using the whole of this, what I have here. What I have here is about 13 inches. I'll be using all of this. But since I'm going to be using the whole of 13 inches, I'm just going to mark out armhole. So I'm extending this all the way to this place. I took out 2 inches from the end of the fabric. So instead of the 13 now we are now down to 11. Okay, so I just marked 11, the same 11 around the off shoulder. You can see. Now I'm going to be curving out my armhole, okay, around this 2 inches that I marked out. So you can use your armhole curve to do this, or you can use your free hand. So for here, I'm going to be extending this whole off shoulder all the way to the middle of the top. And then here I am going to be giving it a bit of a curve. So from this chest line, I'm going to be coming down by, say, 2 inches. You can come down to as low as 3 inches, whatever you want. And I'm just going to connect it. So I've curved in this place, as you can see the effect is giving. I hope the chalk marking is showing in the camera. Now from the center part, I'm going to be coming up here by 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Now the purpose of this is to give us a reverse basque effect. Now for a basque effect is when your waistline has a V shape like this, a V shape around the waistline. But what I'm doing now is a reverse basque effect. Now the V shape is going the inverted V. Okay, so I am going to be imputing that from the center piece. So from here, I am going to mark out this reversed V shape for the waistline. So I am going to curve this down. Now you can curve it in up to 5 or 6 inches inwards, because this fabric is going to be pleated. So know that whatever you curve in is going to also almost come close to the center part. So this is the pattern I need. Okay. Now to cut out this pattern, something else you have to also note, because this place is going to be gathered, we're going to be having an elastic at the end. Now I'm going to be adding half of an inch at the top here to accommodate the elastic we are going to be adding, or I can use 0.75 inches. So I'm going to be coming up from here. Now the actual measurement we need is this place, but I'm going to be coming up from here for that 0.75 for the allowance we need to add our elastic. Okay. Now, I want to use this piece the way it is to cut out the back piece before I will now cut out the inverted V-shape basque. Okay. What I'm cutting out is the part of the fabric we don't need. So I've used the front piece as a pattern to cut out the back piece, and as you can see, I did not cut with this same shape of the lower neckline, okay, for the front. I had to come up, cover up that place I cut out for the front. Okay, this is for the front part that I supposed to be having a curved in effect. Okay, now for the front part, I am also going to be cutting only the front part for this other inverted part of it. Okay, for the inverted V shape at the waistline. So this is the front piece and this is the back piece. So I had to recut this back piece. I made a mistake by not adding extra allowance at the back piece. Okay, the back piece is supposed to be 1 inch longer than the front piece, and this is to enable us add elastic. So this piece now is just wasted. So when you're cutting yours, please be careful so you don't waste any fabric like I have just wasted mine. Okay, so here, so now I'm going to be cutting out the sleeve. So for the sleeve length I need is going to be 20 inches. I have 22 inches here because I'm going to be adding elastic at the hem of the sleeve and also at the top part of the sleeve. Okay, so 1 inch for each elastic, and this 22 is going to come back to 20 inches. And so for the sleeve armhole, I'm going to be using the front piece as a pattern to cut out the armhole for the sleeve. So I just placed the front pattern exactly on the end of the sleeve so that I will cut out the armhole exactly the same thing as it is on the main bodies. Okay, and also I left like a 0.2 inches or 0.3 inches allowance at the top. This is so that there'll be enough allowance for the folding in for the elastic. Okay, next we are going to be cutting out the band. Now if you remember, the full length of this top is going to be 19 inches, and I've cut out the shoulder to the underbust measurement for 14 inches. So we have 5 inches left, and that 5 inches is going to be going in as our band. So I'm going to be getting 11 inches for this band here, so that when you fold it in half, you will get your 5.5 inches. Half an inch will be for the joining. So I have both bands that is going to be going on both sides to tie it around the waistline at the back. Now here, this is where it gets interesting. Now remember the inverted basque effect we did? This is where we are going to be effecting that inverted basque effect. And so for the effect of our inverted basque effect, guys, so this is what I'm going to do. See, I have placed one of the band underneath the first one. Okay, and I'm going to pin the two of them at the end, at the edge of this together like so. I'm going to pin here together at the edge. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing on this side. Bring this one to this place as well. And pin it here. What I have here is the inverted E shape that I have given it at the top part. So this is the front piece. This is the inverted V shape I have given it. Look at it coming back here to play. So what I'm going to do now is measure this place. What I have here is 5.5 inches. I'm going to keep measuring 5.5 inches like so, and I'll be marking it. So I am going to be tracing this. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to be marking out this 5.5 inch, and I'm going to cut it out. So we made this band a long rope now like so. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to run a loose stitch. I'm going to run a loose stitch here, and I'll come and gather it on top of the band first. Alright, so this is the front piece. I've run a loose stitch at the waistline for the front piece. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half like so. And what I'm going to do is from this pointed V-shaped part, what I'm going to do is measure my waistline divided by 4 on each side. So my waistline is 28 inches. That's under my bust measurement is 28 inches. Divided by 4 is going to be 7 inches. So I'm going to measure 7 inches here. I'll measure 7 inches on this side as well. from this point. I have 7 inches here. So what I'm going to do is take this place, the middle of this dress, I'm going to place it here. Place it at the center here and pin it. And now I am going to be gathering this. From where you mark the 7 inches, you can just leave a half of an inch for joining the front piece to the back piece, okay? You leave a half of an inch there for joining. And I'm going to pin this, and then you are going to gather whatever is left all the way to meet it at this waistline. As you gather it, you pin it together. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. I'll take the end of this place and I'll place it at the 7 inches and leaving half of an inch for joining, and I'm going to pin it. I'm going to go ahead and join this place. I've pinned it all together like so. Look at this. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that part. I'm going to take out the pins. And so this is it. This is how it looks. Let's turn this way. This is how the waistline looks. Look at this place. So this is the waistline of the front part. You see the effect, the inverted V-shape effect it has. That's exactly what we wanted. So now what you're going to do is the rest of the band, the remaining part of the band, you're just going to go ahead and sew it and conceal it. You can fold it in like so and top stitch it, or you can sew it like the way I do mine. I'm just going to fold it. I'm going to open it, turn it to the wrong side, and I'm going to go ahead and join it from side to side. I'm going to join it up to here, and then I'll turn it inside out. I'll do the same thing on this side. So this is it, and look at how I have sewn this. I had to turn it to the wrong side and sew it. So I'm just going to pass my loop turner inside, and I will hook it in and use it to turn it inside out. So this is one side. I've turned one side inside out. Repeat the same thing on the other side. This is what we have. And so when you are done, you are going to go ahead and top stitch here and top stitch here just to keep it completely inside. Of course, you do that after you've overlocked here. You're going to overlock this place to keep it clean. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is to hem it. And for the chest line, we're going to be using an elastic at the chest line. So I'm going to go ahead and fold in the chest line with half of an inch folded twice, and I'm going to sew the whole sew it to the end. I'll do the same thing for the back piece, okay? For the back piece, we're going to also sew the top and the down part of the back piece, okay? So this is the down part of the back piece. We're going to hem it as well and leave space for our elastic folded twice. I will hem the top as well and leave space for the elastic folded twice. I will also do the same thing for the sleeve. I'm going to hem the top of the sleeve for elastic and hem the down part of the sleeve as well. Okay, so for the elastics, you just go ahead and use your elastic as a measurement, run it around your off shoulder, and whatever you get, you can divide it into 4 pieces and use it for the front part, the top, and for the top of the back part, and also for this top of the sleeves, like I have done. And then for your wrist, you're going to run an elastic around your wrist to be sure where it's most comfortable, and that's what you're going to be using for the wristband. Okay, for the elastic on the wrist. And then the same thing you do for your waistline. For you to get the elastic for your waistline, you are going to um, run the elastic around your waist and use half of what you get, because the front part of the waistline is not going to be needing an elastic. Okay, so to use your loop turner, you just pass your loop turner through the hole where you are going to pass the elastic. When you get to the end like so, you are going to hook your elastic to the loop turner and gently pass it inside. So when you get this part, you just pin it down so that it doesn't go all the way inside, and then you gently pass it to the other side. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew this, fasten all of this so I can take out the pins. I'm going to fasten it so that the elastic will not pull out. I will do it for all of them before we start joining it together. So I've gone ahead to sew the elastics to it so that it will not move. Okay, and I've taken out the pins, so it's time to start joining the pieces together. Let's start with this. So this is the front piece, so I'm going to be pinning the sleeves to it. So I'm going to take up one of the sleeves like so, and I'm going to match it, the armhole to armhole. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and sew it like so. Now you open the sleeve and you take up the back piece, and the same way you will join it armhole to armhole. And then I'm opening this one. I'm going to take the last sleeve, armhole to armhole, and I'm going to go ahead. And now I'm going to take the last piece, that's the last part of the other part of the front piece, and join it to the other part of this sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all of these armholes together. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to take this back piece, lay it on the front piece, and I'm going to start joining it. So you're going to pin the armholes together, and then pin the end of the dress together. So here, you're just going to pin here and here together. So you're going to sew from the sleeve. You're going to sew from the sleeve with half of an inch all the way and to this part, and you are going to lock it here. Also, don't forget to iron this place, and when you are done, you are going to do this overlocking. You're going to weave the inside of this. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the sides, and I will style this top and show us how it looks. If at this point, guys, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to also leave a comment in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you what you think of this tutorial. And also, if you have any kind of requests or whatever thoughts you have, drop them in the comment section. I would like to see them. I'd like to hear from you. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye bye.